Appendix, The Logical Fallacies of Dawkins. Introduction, The Role of Logic in Public Discourse. Logical thinking is the cornerstone of any rational argument. For a position to be credible, it must be free of logical fallacies, which are errors in reasoning that undermine the logic of an argument. In the following sections, we will identify and dissect some of the logical fallacies evident in Richard Dawkins' criticisms of Christianity and religious belief. Ad hominem attacks. One of the most obvious fallacies in Dawkins' work is the ad hominem attack, where he discredits the argument by attacking the person who holds it. Labeling religious believers as delusional serves no purpose in a logical, rational debate and only serves to demean and belittle. Straw man fallacy. Dawkins often sets up a straw man by misrepresenting the stance of religious people, only to knock it down easily. For example, he might argue that Christians blindly believe in a sky fairy, ignoring the intricate theological and philosophical foundations upon which belief is often based. Appeal to authority. Dawkins frequently refers to his status as a scientist to add weight to his arguments against religion. While expertise in a field like evolutionary biology gives authority in that specific subject, it doesn't automatically grant credibility in theology or philosophy. False dichotomy. In Dawkins' narrative, you can either be rational and scientific or religious and irrational, with no middle ground. This false dichotomy disregards the many individuals who integrate their religious beliefs with a scientific understanding of the world. Begging the question. Dawkins often assumes the point he is trying to prove. For instance, when discussing the impossibility of God, he presupposes that anything outside naturalistic explanations cannot exist, effectively begging the question at hand. Circular reasoning. In some arguments, Dawkins uses circular reasoning. For instance, he may claim religion is irrational because it relies on faith, defining faith as inherently irrational. Such an argument circles back on itself, providing no real evidence or logic. Oversimplification. While not strictly a logical fallacy, the oversimplification of complex ideas weakens Dawkins' arguments. He often reduces intricate theological concepts to basic caricatures that are easily dismissed but bear little resemblance to the beliefs held by informed religious individuals. Slippery slope. Dawkins sometimes uses the slippery slope fallacy, suggesting that religious belief inevitably leads to harmful consequences like extremism or irrationality, without providing evidence for this unavoidable progression. Conclusion, the quest for intellectual integrity. Pointing out these fallacies is not an attack on Dawkins' character or an attempt to undermine all of his work. Instead, it's an exercise in intellectual integrity. Identifying logical fallacies helps create a more honest, effective dialogue, which is crucial in the ongoing discussion between science and religion. Both sides of this debate would do well to ensure their arguments are logically sound and free of fallacies, allowing for a more constructive and enlightening conversation.